Welcome back to me, Core Acres, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Homebrew Wednesday. How's everybody been doing? I know I haven't been on a whole lot lately, but it was a beautiful day out here today in mid-May in Central Florida. It's actually a little humid, but and I am out of Homebrew, and I remembered that I had picked up a recipe on a sale not too long ago. So I thought, you know what a great day to make some beer. So what we're making today is a Santa Rita Pale Ale. It's a very similar to like Sierra Nevada Pale Ale or something along those lines. It's got, it's a little hoppy. It's malt forward with a little bit of hops. It's got sea hops, which are my favorite hops. So it uses Cascade hops, which are some of my favorite hops. I just like that grapefruit tartness that really comes out with them. So stay tuned, and we'll be back ready to rock and roll. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we'll go over our ingredients list here real quick. We have our Northwest Pale Ale light malt extract. It's actually one of the premium malt extracts. I have had the Northwest Pale Ale, just a regular Pale Ale before, and it makes a fantastic beer. So I'm really looking forward to this a little bit hoppier edition. And then plus it's something different that we're doing today is this is going to be a partial mash, whereas we will be steeping some grains, and which is really, you show you how super easy it is. So first thing we have, like I said, we have the light malt extract, and we have 2 ounces, I believe that, oh no, I'm sorry, these are half-ounce packages, so 1 ounce total of Cascade hops, which we'll be doing, I believe, at staggered edition, but I'm not sure. I'll have to check the recipe. We have 4 ounces, I believe, yeah, 4 ounces of Carapils malt, and 4 ounces of crystal malt, which we'll be steeping for 30 minutes. And let's see. That we're going to use the USO5, Safefield USO5 dry yeast, which is a good standard yeast. It finishes real clean, doesn't give any funky flavors or anything. So we got that, and then obviously we got the no rinse cleanser. And so let's get going here. I think what I'll do, just for convenience sake, I have about a gallon of water in my LBK here. So we're going to unscrew the lid, and we're going to take doesn't say, okay. Take some of our, about half that package or so. I'm going to mix that in here. Mix our no rinse cleanser in there. Put that there for now. And I have a hop sack in there currently. And actually, I also remembered that this partial mash comes with 2 hop sacks. One for your malt and one for your hops. So we're going to take these. Actually, I probably don't even really need to do this, but we'll throw, I think we're going to use one of them, and I'm going to hold on to the other one for now, since I already have one in there. Okay, so as I was saying, excuse me, we have our no rinse cleanser in here now, and we'll let that sit for a while. I was going to soak the hop sacks, but I don't need to because they're going to be going in the, well, actually, we're only going to be getting to about 150, and then we're going to bring it up to a boil. So yeah, we should be okay. Well, I'll throw them in here for now. Anyway, I have my spatula that I'm going to use, so that can, we'll let that sit in there. Again, that shouldn't be that big of a deal. One last thing I forgot, we do have a pot that's ready to go. This will hold as much water as we need. We're not doing a full boil or anything. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do 4 ounces of the Carapils, which is here. All right. Hopefully this thing's staying in focus. I was having an issue the other day, so hopefully we're not now. But so we got. Oh, oops! You know what? I almost dumped it right in there. Could be me. Let's take one of our hop sacks. We're going to use the other one since that had malt in it already. Okay. Now, probably the easiest way to do this is going to be just stretching this right over the pot. As such. Maybe, maybe not. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But alright, so we're going to do all 4 ounces of the Carapils. Kind of helped a little bit. Alright. And we're going to do half a bag, so basically 2 ounces of the caramel malt, crystal malt. 15, which is 15 Levabon. So basically it's a lighter malt. The longer that malt is dried? No, malted, the darker it gets. So this has been done so that it's a fairly light malt. We can hook that over there again, or not. I'm going to do about half this bag. Or 2 ounces. It doesn't have to be exact. Whoops. There we go. That's about half, give or take. Might be a little bit more, but that's alright. Not like it's going to go bad. And it won't make it bad. Alright, so there we have our 6 ounces of malt. We can tie that up. Tie this all here. There we go. Now I already have 6 ounces of water, 6 cups of water measured out, which is what the recipe calls for. So we're going to take 6 cups, put it right in our pot here. And then our malt is just going to go right in the pot. I'm going to start that burner, and we're going to bring this up to 155. Once it hits 155, we're just going to try to we need to maintain the 155 for 30 minutes to make sure we get proper conversion, and then we'll move on from there. So let's start our burner and get this going. Go. Yep, it's going well. Now, put this on the heat. Put our thermometer on here. We can keep an eye on it. like that. Alright, so I changed my mind. I'm actually want to bring it up to 155 first, then we'll put the hop sack in, the malt sack in, and let that steep for 30 minutes. So I actually removed it from the pot, and I will be back once we get up to temperature here on our pot, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Okay, I don't know when this, not sure when this thing stopped, but so I added about another cup of water to get our water up over the top of our grain. Our temperature now is about 160, which is perfect. I turned the heat down a little bit. Actually, I'm going to turn it way down. That way it should maintain right about there. This is a good solid bottom pot, so we should be good. I got my timer started at 30 minutes, and we will be back when it's ready to rinse our grains. Okay guys, we're down to about 10 seconds or so left on our timer, so we're going to call that a wrap. And now what we're going to do is take a strainer, pull our grains out, put our grains in a strainer here, and we're just going to rinse them off a little bit with about a cup of water. As such. And now we're going to have to now you don't want to squeeze that or anything. There's a lot of times there's some tannic oils in there that would leave a bitterness that you don't want. So we're just going to make sure that this is good and drained off. I may have made that a little bit too tight. I probably should have made that a little looser. So stuff kind of moved a little more, but I think we should be okay as far as extraction. So now, we'll just take that, set that here for now. Now we're going to bring this back up. I have to restart it. Turn that on. There we go. We're going to bring this up to a boil. And then once we get it to a boil, then we're going to add our hops and our malt. Currently, I have the malt soaking in some hot water here, just to kind of soften it up, makes it a little bit easier to remove from the to get out of the can, and you get more out of the can that way, because it's a very thick, almost molasses type syrup. So let's bring this back here. We're going to bring this up to a boil, and we'll be back once that is boiling. Alright, so as you see, we are now at a slow boil. So we're going to we're going to add our 1 ounce of Cascade hops, which I already took out of the packages, and I put them in a hop sack here. So we're going to toss that right in here. And we're going to remove it from the heat and put it right over here. Shut this off. Actually, that can stay there. Alright, so there we go. We got our hops all set. So these are pretty much just aroma hops. It's not going to extract a whole lot of flavor, being that we're doing it just to flame out. But okay, so I guess the hops are just going to stay there in the kegerator. So that's that. So now we're ready to add our malt. Okay, so we have our wort here in front of us with our hop sack floating in there. We're going to be putting everything right into the LBK. Are you kidding me? Well, hopefully you're not picking that up. There's somebody weed whacking behind me all of a sudden. So we're going to open up our malt here, hopefully. I might have to go sideways. Yep, I'm going to have to go sideways. Or on the bottom. We'll do it at the bottom. Alright, there we go. We don't want that going in there. Get rid of that. And that will leave for the flies. Let me get my stirrer. My God, that's good. Okay, so this part's all set. We'll leave our hops in here. I think what I'm going to do to make this easier, I'm going to empty out my LBK here. Okay, so how about that? The LBK is all set. Now I like, just for more habit I guess than anything, excuse me, I spray Star San on everything, so I will spray a little Star San in here. I don't know why, it's just kind of, like I said, a habit. Makes me feel better. And that's good to go. Now I'm going to take my hop sack, since it's going to stay right in the fermenter, and I'm just going to throw it in the fermenter here. And now we're going to add in our malt. Just so it's not in the way. That's the only reason why I took it out. And you can see how thick it is, for those of you that are new. It's a nice thick malt syrup. Now what we can do is just kind of get that a little bit. Ow, that's hot. Get as much out of here as we can. Getting kind of warm. That's pretty good. We'll just dump the rest of that in there. We'll file that. Let's just stir this up. So that's all dissolved and worked in. Now what I did while we're off camera, I went and I got another half gallon of water, ice cold water, refrigerator cold, and I added a little bit of ice to it just to kind of chill it down. And then what we're going to do is, you typically don't want to pitch your yeast above 75 degrees, preferably below 70. So right now, obviously, this is probably still close to 200 degrees, or coming down, but still. So a small batch like this, the easiest thing to do, what we're going to do is we're just going to take this, we're going to pour it into our LBK, and then we're going to add the cold water up to the 2-gallon mark. And we will be good to go. Just want to keep stirring this until it's good and mixed in, good and dissolved. You don't want to boil a malt extract, because it tends to, again, add more bittering, and there's risk of burning and throwing other off flavors. There's no need to boil. Okay, a little bit of wind there. There's no need to boil malt extract anyway, because it's already been boiled in the process of turning it into malt, or a malt extract. We're just about there. Just about there. Hey, it smells awesome. Oh, love that smell. Especially a good hopped malt extract, and then adding those Cascade hops. Like I said, the C hops are my favorites. Cascade, Centennial, Citra, any of those. Especially Cascade, though. Kent Goldings are pretty good for like if we're doing like a British beer, like an English bitter. Some UK Kent Goldings or something like that. It's always nice. Buggles, a little bit of Buggles. Alright, I think we got this just about mixed up here. This looks pretty darn good here. So, I'm going to pull this out. Put that right there. And I didn't bring a funnel, so we're going to have to be really careful with this and just try to pour it without spilling too much like I did. I'm getting flies around, so I got to be careful here. And we're going to get that. Get that all up there. So we get out as much as we can. You might read about people aerating their wort before they pitch and stuff like that. Once you get it cooled, like when it's hot, like when it's still hot, you don't want to aerate it too much, because then you can introduce off flavors that way, and it gets you get like a cardboard flavor or stuff like that, which you obviously don't want. So while it's hot, you want to treat it fairly gentle. But then once it's cooler, then you can kind of not have to worry about it so much. So here's a half gallon of cold water. That should have brought us up to, all right, yeah, we're about a half gallon there. I think I'm going to need probably another one of these to top this up, but I'll just top it up in the house. There's some leftover that I had. That should get us up to about a gallon, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's just about a gallon there. And then we have another half gallon here that will pitch. Now with this recipe, the Santa Rita Pale Ale, we're going to be using the USO5, Safe Ale USO5 dry ale yeast, which is just an American pale ale kind of yeast, very standard. Whenever you get malt extract from Mr. Beer, they pretty much all come with a stock yeast package, which we're not going to use for this brew, but obviously don't throw it away, it's still good. And you might want to do some experiments with some mini mashes or partial mashes, or you know, even an all grain, a small batch all grain, you know. And I can't remember, I know it's an ale yeast, but I can't remember exactly which one it is. But so yeah, just store that, throw that in your fridge, and you can still use it up until the expiration date, which I don't even know if there is one on here. 8/18. That's not good, but okay. So we're just going to mix that up a little bit. And I'm still about a half gallon short here. Yeah, I'm still about a half gallon short, but I'll just, I'm going to bring it in the house and I'll top it off. And we're still about a half gallon short in the to our 2 gallon mark. So I'm just going to wrap this up. I'll bring it in the house, I'll top it off, and I'm going to put it in my my spare bathroom, which stays right around 70 or so. And we will be back in a couple of weeks with a taste test. And if you guys enjoyed this, please let me know. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. I am going to try to do more of these on a fairly regular basis. Excuse me. If you have any questions, anything, please leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to tell your friends, share, and all that fun stuff. Let me know if there's a particular recipe you want to see me do. I'd be more than happy to see what I could do about it. I'll do anything from the Mr. Beer line, pretty much. Don't forget to go back and check a couple of the past Homebrew Wednesdays. I have a Saison de Miel, Saison de Miel that I did that came out outstanding once it aged out a little bit. It was actually a really fine beer. I'm a big farmhouse ale guy. I really enjoy farmhouse ales. So actually, I think if I don't hear from you guys for a different suggestion, I'm leaning towards the newest recipe that they just came out with, which is a farmhouse ale. It looks like it should be really good. Plus they came out with a couple of IPAs and a nice stout, which actually looks really good too, which I might experiment with. I was thinking of doing a riff on a Brooklyn stout with adding a little chocolate to it or something, to the old Rasputin clone that they just came out with. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys all again very soon. Have a great day, everybody. Happy Homebrew Wednesday.